Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap, I've got various bits and pieces going on. There's some work with a boring head on the milling machine. I make a roller for a lad, and I put a Helicoil into a aluminium sump. You're watching this video now, and I'm actually on holiday in Greece with a wife, so I hope you enjoy it. I've got some really nice aluminium caliper brackets here that need modifying to fit over that hole. Just use that hole making bigger, take it out to 63mm. I was going to put them in a 4-jaw chuck, but I'm going to do them on the milling machine using a boring head. Hopefully you won't find it too boring. These two studs will be more than sufficient to hold it in place. Right, I'll nip them up and then we can get it set up. We'll be using the eyeball method to set this up. I have done one and that tool's actually set to the size I need. I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer. Right, so basically all we're doing now is lining this up. Right, I'm happy at that. Just putting light cuts on because it's a little bit springy. It should be its last cut. Decent grade of aluminium this, it's cutting very nicely. So now we've got clearance. Just gently take the nasty little rags off. In last week's nightcap, I repaired a roller by welding the end up and remachined it, and the lad wants another one making in a slightly smaller diameter. A little bit of chatter there because this is broken out quite a long way, and that tool is very, very slightly for the centre height. The important dimension here is the size for the bearing, and the bearing got to fit in the end. That's better. I'm going to put a centre in the end because it is quite a lot to come off it. And the centre will make a massive difference to it. Flexing or not flexing. And that's 40mm round bar, and it's still flexing quite a bit. Make sure we get enough. So we can still get the tool in, which we can, and just snug that up gently. That's all it takes. Make sure what chuck is tightened up, which it is. So I put a power feed on this, that's what it's for. So the chatter's completely eliminated now. This should take us down to our first dimension. I'm going to take the cut off that face there to bring it down to the 39mm, it's at 40 now. Lifted the fairing up there very slightly. You can see it's made a big difference in the performance of the tool. With better finish, and the chips operating a lot better. Right, we're now back to the small dimension there, the small diameter for the bearing. I'm going to measure the distance between there and the shoulder, which is 7mm. And all I do there is put a 0 on me DRO, and I know that when I get to there, that's 7mm. We'll change the tool for the tool with a sharper corner on because we need a nice shoulder on there for the bearing to sit onto. Right, to remove the centre now because of the lot of room, but I have got a heavy machine all done. I think that's going to go on there just nicely. We'll leave it at that. I've turned the job round in the chuck, and that's how much confidence I've got in the chuck. It's absolutely spot on. You can't get much better than that for a 3-jaw chuck. Right, we need this parting off, and then the same machining doing on this end. Oh, bastard! That's how you break a parting tool. That's the one. That'll certainly do for me. This is an aluminium oil sump of a Vauxhall of some description, and the problem it's got is the sump plug stripped, and I've got to put a repair insert in them. Normally I do these in position with oil dripping out of that hole all over us, but the lads took the sump off, so I've brought it into my workshop and I'm going to set it on the milling machine, drill it, and show you how to put the insert in. The thread on these is 14 by 1.5. It might sound a strange thread, but it's very, very common in the motor trade. I'll bring the camera in, quickly measure the thread just to make sure, and then we'll go about repairing it. We'll measure the diameter first, and it is 13.76. It definitely is 14mm thread. Then we'll measure the pitch. That's a 1.5mm thread gauge, and it fits in there perfectly, except it's full of chewed up aluminium. There's a clean bit of thread. Right, hope you can see that. 14 by 1.5. .25 or 9/16 is the drill. Oversized drill for the special helicoil top. Right. We need to line up the top with the hole, which is not a difficult job to do. You can do it by hand, or do it by eye rather. Again, cutting all the way around, so we'll settle for that. Reasonably slow. I'm going to use the X-axis to drill it, just so that the drill doesn't grab and snap. This is normally a fairly crappy grade of aluminium. I've done quite a few welding repairs on these and it's horrible stuff to weld. Turned the wrong handle there, John, you bad lad. We'll pick the hole up again, which is there. And so the adapter's gone from to Morse 2 drill, Morse 3 adapter, and that's Morse 3 to R8. Quite a handy tool. Right, we need some threads putting in there. Little top follower. Just to keep the top held nice and straight. Just going to tap this by hand, it's just soft aluminium. And these helicoil tops are really good quality. When you do these on position, you normally run some oil through the engine just to wash the threads out. These are the inserts. They come in various lengths. This one's what they call a 1.5D. It's 1.5 times the length of the diameter. It's too long, so we need to shorten it a little bit. Just cut some coils off. Either a pair of really good cutters or a little grinding disc just to nick them off. It's important to get the length right. That looks good. That's the install tool. It goes into a little drive dog inside the insert. It simply screws in until you get it just below the surface. last thread's just jumped a little bit. I'll just flick that one in. Right, that's it. I'll bring the camera in so you can get a close-up shot of that. Okay, you can see the insert there is like half a thread below the surface, and that's a little driving dog or a little driving tang that we need to pull out. So they're pointing those pliers, going straight out like that. Then the sump plug screws back in, original thread, nice and strong. This one actually is sealed on a rubber O-ring, so it doesn't need to go in ridiculously tight. That's it. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, a massive thanks for all the well wishes that keep coming in. Anyway, thanks for watching.